Snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Okay, Rashad.
Antoine Massey has been caught. Twan has been caught. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Lil Weezy, Lil Wayne, help me out. I'm Jody's son. I'm sorry, I shouldn't mock him. Massey had a good run, bro. 6 weeks. Seen him stop at like a low Memorial Day pool party, a little cookout. He said he was free. He said he was out. He done made him a little Instagram page. Got to speak about and kind of vouch for his rights and things of that sort. I appreciated those videos, and he was talking about just a lot of kind of differences in the justice system, and he is pretty much just like, if no one else gonna get me, I gotta get myself. And then they tracked down where he did that thing from. They came to the apartment. The apartment's empty, but they ended up finding him in an Airbnb, and that leads us to NOLA.com. The last guy, by the way, is Derek Groves. He's still on the run. So if you had Derek Groves as your last guy standing, which I've seen a lot of people guess, congratulations, you have won. Derek Groves ended up being the last guy standing. So with that being said, shout out to NOLA.com. Shout out to the Times-Picayune. If you want to support Rashad Milligan, in addition to helping me get to 5K subs, make sure you read NOLA.com and The Advocate for all of your Louisiana needs. Boing. Sheriff was tipped off to Antoine Massey's whereabouts in a Holly Grove rental home, authorities say. This is by Missy Wilkinson. All right, here we go. So someone snitched. How dare they? An anonymous tipster notified Orland Parish. Oh, man. Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson of an escaped inmate, Antoine Massey's whereabouts in a Holly Grove apartment. On Friday morning, they snitched. Authorities confirmed at a Friday evening media briefing, quote unquote, when the community believes in and trusts their police departments and law enforcement agencies, they work cooperatively. New Orleans Police Department Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said it was one of 1,200 tips that have poured in since the 10 inmates escaped the Orleans. 1,200? Oh, it's a lot of snitches. Y'all don't need to say nothing about me and everything about New Orleans being so distant. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna try New Orleans. Them folks real. I ain't gonna lie. They told me, I said, I believe you. You ain't gotta tell me twice. It was more than to all the people coming in for Essence next week. Just know New Orleans is not sweet. All right? Be safe, be smart, remain vigilant of your surroundings. All right? Just like any other city, but yeah, just do that. What SSB say? Low key escaping prison is some G stuff. 100%, bro. But he did it and was out for 6 weeks. You gotta have balls to do that. 100%. Gotta have balls and a little of kind of not thinking. You have to miss you have to have no conscience. You know what I mean? Nothing telling you, the voice in the back of your head telling you, don't do it. He should have left the country. Yeah, I'm very surprised that they found him in Holly Grove. Because after a whole month, 6 weeks, I'm thinking he's out of Louisiana. Turns out Brody was just going from rental property to rental property in the New Orleans area. It was more than 1,200 tips that are poured in since the 10 inmates escaped through the Orleans Justice Center 6 weeks ago, and one of the handful to culminate in an arrest. After receiving the tip Friday morning between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., Hudson said that she passed the information along to the detectives. Quote unquote, they set the actions in motion, which led to the capture. Hudson said. U.S. Marshals honed in on a house reportedly used as a short-term rental in the 9400 block of Squirrel Street. Excuse me, I butchered that. Surrounding the address. By 3:30 p.m., Massey had surrendered peacefully. Authorities did not disclose whether anyone else was in the house with him or who could potentially face accessory charges. Quote unquote, it's pretty obvious over the last 6 weeks to remain a fugitive that long. He had assistance, he had help. Whether or not it was someone helped them with the Airbnb, we would have to think, quote unquote, yes. But who it was, all those things will be determined later. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Said the state police superintendent, Colonel Robert Hodges. As of Friday evening, 9 escapees have been recaptured. Derek Groves remain at large in search that has crossed state lines. New Orleans City Council member Eugene Green praised law enforcement and said that the surveillance technology had likely played a role in Massey's apprehension. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrow issued a statement on their arrest. Massey will now face additional charges for his role in the escape, and I'll ensure that he will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, she said. Great work by. Why would you say that when Derek is still out there? Like, wouldn't you say like, uh, Derek, we want you to be this and that. We gonna get you, but we gonna help you and get your people and everything like that. Cause that's what you guys promised. You guys said, hey, turn yourself in, please. If you turn yourself in, we'll get you guys some legal help. We'll hire you some lawyers and everything to retry your cases and help you because you guys obviously believe that you're innocent. Because if you guys don't know, I made a video about it, but Twan made a whole video on his Instagram, created an Instagram by the way, and said, "Hey, I'm innocent because these papers, I'm in there for DV, the person that they said the victim of my alleged DV has a piece of paper where she signed where she said, I did not touch her. I did not hit her." So he was fighting for, his innocence in this. You guys said, hey, come on in. We'll help you with your lawyers and everything like that, right? You catch one of two. You don't finish the job. You got 9 of 10, one of two. And what do you say? Oh, yeah. We big, we bad, we tough. We gonna prosecute you to the fullest extent. Why would you say that, bro? Just why? Anyways, great work by all of our law enforcement partners who have been working so hard for this outcome. You think this man don't got internet, Derek Groves? You don't think he has access to the internet over 6 weeks? Anyone with information about the escaped inmate should contact the FBI at 1800 call snitch. No, I'm just kidding. 1800 call FBI or via fbi.gov /New Orleans Fugitives Crime Stoppers at 504 822-111 or visit crimestoppersgno.org or the Louisiana State Police Fusion Center at 225-925-4192. Once again, shouts out to Missy Wilkinson. A great story. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But there's a thing and takes escaping that takes a lot of planning, secrecy, etc. Go to one of the countries in the Caribbean and lay low. And then again, it's probably harder than it looks. I think he's out of the state, Derek. But in all fairness, they have some inside help. Yeah, Derek, he was not Derek, but a couple of the other guys, they caught them in Houston. They caught those guys in Houston. Oh, excuse me. They caught a guy in Baton Rouge, and everybody else they caught in like New Orleans, bro. Like the New Orleans area. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you escape, if all you know, what would I do if I was in their situation? If I was in their situation, bro, and I got out, first of all, I'd be panicking the whole time, especially like with it going viral and it being like the number one news story. I'd be like, yo, the whole world knows who I am, knows what I look like. You gotta think, because I already get looked at for being like people will say like I'm kind of like on a taller side or whatever. So like I already get looked at like in stores and in public and stuff by strangers. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And then, like with my job, a lot of people think that they've already seen me somewhere or they think they know me. And I'm like, no, you haven't seen me before. You probably just seen me like on the internet. And they're like, no, you know. And I'm like, no, you don't. And then I'll show them, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I see you." So I pay some of the cartels to get me out of America and take me to the DR or something like that. So it's like I just don't like attention already. So I think I'd be panicking. First of all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I won't be on no cool stuff. Like I ain't gonna be like, "Oh, I'm too cool for school." Like, I slid out real quick. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, everybody knows who I am. I'm gonna get caught eventually. What do I do when I get caught?" So that would be my first thought. I'll definitely leave. Anxiety would be at an all time 100%. Bro, what? I'll be so anxious, dude. Are you serious? It's crazy. But yeah, I'll be so anxious, dog. I probably just had to get on Greyhound, dog. Cause Greyhound, you can go the furthest for the least amount of money. Cause you got to think from their perspective, they're not gonna have that much money, right? So you have to go. They should have started streaming everything. Man, they would have got stream sniped so fast. I feel like. But me personally, I ain't gonna lie. Like I would have been like, he said, get your 15 minutes of fame and start a career. Me personally, being someone who does YouTube and things of that sort, I probably want to do like, yo, we keeping the stream going. SSB was good. You know what I'm saying? They catch my stupid self, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think I can make it. I think I can make it 5 days. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think I can make it 5 days. And on the fourth night, I'll go live, bro. I'll go stream. We talk about the current events. I'll talk about myself and everything like that. And then they'll give me the next day. And then I'll be in jail for 5 more years than what I would have been originally because I decided to escape for 5 days. But I probably see, like you say, I'll go straight as far as I could go out. Personally, if I love my mom's cooking or I just wanted to see my family, I probably go run to see my family first. Hug their necks, say what's up to them, and then I'm out. Greyhound, I'm going to Massachusetts, bro. Like if I'm in the South, I'm going at least to the North, bro. To the East Coast. I'm going to the East Coast. Bare minimum. I'm going West Virginia. There we go. I'm going to West Virginia. I'm not going to DC. I'm not going to Boston. I'm not going to Rhode Island or, you know what I'm saying, like Maine. I'm not going to one of those places. I'm not going to a place where people go and people know of. I'm not going to any 100% because they caught the dudes that went to Texas. They caught them because they were in the Houston area, and then the other dude who was in Louisiana, he got out of NOLA, but he was still in dang Baton Rouge, which is like the second biggest city in in Louisiana. It make any sense? Go to like North Dakota. Shoot, I might go to Wyoming with Kanye, bro. Go stay with Kanye. I think Ye would let me in for sure. And he'd probably be like, you know what I'm saying, hold the camera. And he probably had me, you know what I'm saying, like recording him making his next album. He'd be, you know, the same way he's saying free Diddy, he be saying free me. He said, free Milligan, free Milligan. So I go to Wyoming with Brody. Or even a Native American reserve, go there. See, I don't know about a reserve because it's like, now see, you got the whole conspiracy of like black people were the Native Americans. So maybe I could get that off. But at the same time, like I feel like natives have been tampered so much. I don't want to bother them folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, like I said, I'll go to dang West Virginia, bro. I'm going to West Virginia, staying away from the University of West Virginia and a football stadium. Staying away from that, 100%. Uh, that's where I go. But I go to the beach. I might. No, I stay in the woods, bro. I stay in the cabin. Really, where I don't have much cell phone service, and I'd probably do that. Shoot, just chill out there for at least a month or two. If I can make it to West Virginia, that's what I do. I chill in West Virginia for a month or two on the train on some cool stuff, and then they eventually catch me because 2025 technology, you're not gonna get away. Like Derek is not getting away, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know some people say they're never gonna catch him. I think it's too much technology, bro. And then if they said 1,200 people called in tips on these 10 dudes in the past 6 weeks, you have to think that somebody in America is gonna snitch on Derek. Even if he went to Mexico, someone in Mexico is gonna snitch on him. These dudes been on These dudes been on the news every day for the past month. Nate said he had a question. Nate, what's the question, bro? What is the question? What is the question? But yeah, this Antoine Massey guy, his dad was apparently like best friends with Lil Wayne's dad. And that's why he was asking for Lil Wayne to get him out and things of that sort. All right, here we go. If we plaster their faces on social media, is that not considered snitching? Oh, see, but here's the thing. I always think about this stuff of like, dang, am I snitching? Is this snitching? Am I making a block hot? Here's the thing about it. If something already has hundreds of thousands of views, or even say millions of views, right? Like I think a great example of that would be the Tabitha Turner situation, right? Tabitha Turner was an undertold story. So I knew if I spoke about it, it had a chance to do well on the internet. However, on TikTok, where the story kind of was and it was thriving and it was living, but it was stuck on TikTok. It didn't go any beyond TikTok. It didn't go to Twitter or anything like that a couple of days ago. Thing about it was, on TikTok, she had like 100,000, 400,000 views on it. Darn near 1 million views on her story time. So at that point, me going on YouTube and reacting to it, I consider that not snitching. It's already got 100,000 views on TikTok. So I'm like, okay, this ain't snitching. And then my videos kind of reached a whole new audience because it's on a different platform on YouTube. And then that led to Tabitha Turner getting with legal people, coming out with a statement, doing a press conference, and trying to clear her name and reputation because people on Twitter, it reached Twitter at that point, and it just blew into what it is now. So, yeah, I would say it's just pretty much just based off of how many views it has when it's already out there for real. SSB said Lil Wayne not getting them out. I don't even think that's possible in this situation. Yeah, it's done. It's cooked. After 6 weeks, they're going to make an example of these boys. That's not snitching. It's probably all sorts of people calling up. And there it is, man. 1,200 people in the area? Like, New Orleans is a major city. At the same time, New Orleans is small, bro. As you guys know, any city gets really small once you get down to, like, the nitty-gritty of the community and stuff like that. 1,200 people? You mean to tell me it's just 1,200 squares? It's some of them real ones in that 1,200. It's some of them, you know what I mean? Hood babies in that 1,200. That's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, 1,200 people call, bro. That's insane, dog. All right, anyways. So I say that to say Derek, they gotta eventually catch Derek, bro. There's no chance he's getting away. In 2025, it's too much technology. So anyways, here it is. Only 4-time killer Derrick Rose remains among the 10 fugitives who escaped from the May 16th and the Orleans Justice Center jail. Someone said, he said 4-time killer like it's an MVP award. 4-time MVP Derrick Rose. Hold on. Mitch said something about this. Mitch, what's he say? It's Lizzie. Anyways, I ain't even gonna pull it up, but she was like, they're never gonna catch him. That's what she said. In fairness, with the Tabitha situation, people went off without having all the facts. I understand what you're saying, but I think it's two different situations. In 2025, when you got ICE doing deportations, you're not getting away from escaping the bin. Exactly, bro. And you see this AI stuff with these AI people, these AI influencers, like the technology's too advanced, bro. The computers are too smart to get away with anything, dude. Like you won't get it. I was watching I know it was a movie, but you see the movie and he identified each person one by one, bro. He identified each person just based off of like the little, like the little laptops where they zoom in on their face and they can get their whole identity just by looking at their eyes. It's crazy. You're cooked, bro. Anyways, we're one.
That steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
George Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
one quick
can't
question.
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.